This video is going to be another stock chart analysis video and ito yung 10 stocks na pag-uusapan ko sa video na to. So before we discuss the individual stocks, punta muna tayo sa PSEI para sa overall market conditions. So the last time that I made a stock chart analysis video, ang naging basis ko for the review is yung November 14 na candle. And during this period nga, nag-breakdown yung PSEI dito sa downward channel niya, no? And the scenarios na we were expecting is pwedeng dumiretso siya pababa towards the 5-4 support or pwedeng makabawi ka agad, no? So, mukhang yun nga yung nangyari kahapon sa first trading day of the week, no? This past Monday. And for today, Tuesday, tumaas ng onte yung PSEI pero walang magandang follow-through, no? Sa candle kahapon kasi parang nagkaroon lang din naman ng bentahan. So, nothing's changed that much kasi bearish pa rin yung outlook natin although mas okay na to na pumasok siya sa loob ng downward channel kesa sa pumunta sa 5-4, no? So, yung inaabangan natin ngayon for the PSEI, assuming na hindi na bumaba ulit, no? At ma-maintain niya itong 5,700 na levels, yung MA20, no? Kasi, as you can see on previous days or previous months, nagre-resist talaga yung MA20, no? So, pag nag-resist kasi itong MA20, yun yung possible reason na bumaba pa rin yung PSEI, no? Kasi pag humabol dito banda yung MA20, so of course, pwede pa rin bumaba yung PSEI. So, ang magandang gawin ng index is it closes above the MA20 and it attempts, no, to break out sa 5-9 levels kasi ibig sabihin labas na rin siya nun sa downward channel. So, let's see kung kaya bang gawin niya ng index this coming trading week or possibly for the month of November, no? So, punta na tayo sa mga individual stocks. So, una nating pag-uusapan, ATI. So, for Asian Terminals Incorporated, one of the best stocks, no, for the year 2025. So, if you're going to plot yung YTD niya, no, halos 90% yung na-increase niya to the present day, but it increased by more than 100%, no, for the year. So, definitely one of the best stocks out there. So, sa ngayon, clearly, intact pa yung kanyang medium-term and long-term uptrend. It's still above the MA100 and MA50. Although, it's been going in a short-term downtrend, no? So, nakikita naman natin yan since last month of October, pababa talaga yung stock. So, right now, nagsusupport pa yung MA50, but if the MA50 makes a breakdown, potentially, pwede siyang magkaroon ng mas matagal pa na consolidation, no, in the short term to medium term. So, let's look at the key levels for ATI. So, clearly, this is the new swing low ng stock. So, around 30.50, no? So, ito yung possible na S1 natin na support. And we can see here na merong previous resistance sa 30 at naging support din yan before. So, of course, this is another support. So, this could be your S2 or potentially range to, no? Yung 30.50 tapos 30. And then, after that, we can see na meron ditong previous swing high sa 28.85. So, syempre, ito yung consider ko na S3, no? Or, ayun nga, pwedeng S2 siya if this is considered as a range. So, for the resistance, clearly, there is a swing high here sa 33.55. So, syempre, yan yung gagawin kong R1, no? Tapos, itong kanyang 52-week high sa 35.50. Syempre, yan yung R2. Pero, we can see that aside from these key levels, yung ATI is moving towards a pattern. So, you can consider this pattern as a downward channel, no? Pwede kasing pag ganito. Or, you can consider it as a falling wedge, no? If you become very specific. So, regardless naman kung downward channel yan or falling wedge, it's still moving, no, towards this direction. So, ibig sabihin, kung manghihina pa yung ATI, it's possible na it can go lower than 31. So, if you've been watching my past stock chart analysis videos, you already know what this means. Para manegate yung move niya towards the lower part ng pattern, it needs to make a breakout, no, dito sa upper part ng resistance line ng trend line. So, for ATI pala, it needs to close above R1 ASAP. Kasi pag hindi yan nag-close dyan, pwedeng mag-consolidate lang siya between the ranges of S1 and R1. So, pwede siyang mag-create ng box dito or it can move lower, no? So, that's my analysis on ATI. So, next up, MBT. So, for MBT, the last time that I talked about this stock, October 27, no? So, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago. So, yung ine-expect natin na gagawing move ng MBT, consolidation lang. So, yun pa kasi yung ginagawa niya, no, since the last week of August. But unfortunately, nagkabuhusan sa market and since MBT is part of the PSEI, walang choice kundi madamay talaga siya. So, nabutas niya yung S1 support and the bottom part of the range and somehow nagkaroon ng pagbawi. Pero napigilan talaga ng MAs natin. Tapos when it made a breakdown again noong November 7, tuloy-tuloy na talaga. Nakikita rin natin na hindi man lang nag-support yung S2, no? Hindi man lang nag-hold, dire-diretso talaga yung pagbaba niya. So expected din somehow kasi malakas talaga yung bentahan sa market eh. So this should have been a strong support pero binutas niya yung double bottom. So ngayon, it looks like dito siya nagkakaroon ng support sa 62. So, ito na yung naging yung double bottom in the long-term scale, no? Kasi last year pa niya na-support yan yung 62. So, para sa akin, ito na yung S1 support niya ngayon. And I'm going to remove this consolidation. And itong S1 previously na range, I'm going to make this as the R2 range, which is one of the key levels kasi ang kapal ng resistance dito dahil makapal na support yan dati. Tapos itong S2 support niya, ito na yung gagawin kong R1. So I'm going to remove all the lines here kasi mas importante na tong levels na to ngayon eh. So I'll just replot these levels soon kung makabawi man yung MBT, no? So if the market moves lower, at mag-breakdown siya sa S1, ano pa yung possible next na support? So, around this area. So, may previous resistance kasi dyan. So, 60 pala to, no? And possible din na psych support. So, ayan yung S2 natin na support around this level. So, what does MBT need to do in order to negate yung kanyang bearish na pattern? So, of course, it needs to go back above 68 levels, no? Pero mukhang mahirapan siya kung hindi mag-improve yung market because as time passes, yung MA20 and MA50 hahabol yan dito and it's going to move somewhere between R1 and R2. So, ang pwedeng mangyari kung magkaroon man ng bullishness pero hindi enough yung buying pressure, pwede siyang maka-encounter ng selling dito tapos either mag-consolidate or bumaba, no? And also, MBT can actually just move inside this consolidation, no? Until mag-decide siya kung kaya niya na bang bumutas pataas ng R1 or bubutasin niya yung S1 support. So, next up, TEL. So, for TEL, the last time that I reviewed this stock, so almost 2 weeks ago, no? Nung first week November pa. So, during this period, nagkaroon siya ng malakas na buying pressure, no? Despite the market moving downwards. And I think the catalyst for this is nagkaroon ng news, no, or mga usap-usapan na they are planning to have a partnership or I think a foreign investor will acquire yung subsidiary nila that relates to creating data centers, no. Tapos, since nalabas na yung IRR, possibly investors or traders are looking at that as a neutral or not that much bearishness, no, as expected. So siguro yung mga napag-usapan dun sa IRR slightly favorable towards TEL or baka hindi ganun kalaki yung impact. Kaya bumalik siya sa prices na near 1.3 levels, no, before the announcement of the Konektadong Pinoy Bill becoming the Konektadong Pinoy Act. Kasi ito yung level ng TEL before the breakdown because of the news, diba? So, bumalik lang din siya ulit. Ayun lang naman yung dalawang catalyst na nangyari. So, probably the investors or traders are pricing in that information. So, we need to adjust our levels again for TEL. So, very unexpected move na ginawa niya, no? Dumire-diretso pataas. So, I'm going to remove yung R3 na resistance and then itong R4, ito na yung gagawin kong R1 sa ngayon. So, ayun yung current resistance niya. And itong R2 levels, no? Ito na yung gagawin kong support. So, this is going to be the S1 support. So, may range tayo dyan na posibleng gawin. Tapos, itong previous na R1, which is the upper part of the range, syempre, ito yung gagawin kong S2. And Etong mga levels na to sa baba, I'm going to remove this because for me, irrelevant na siya dahil I don't see TEL going back to the support dito sa below 1,080 in the short term, no? I think this is already enough volume and buying pressure to act as the support para hindi niya mabutas yung 1,080 levels. So, after the R1, so ito, na-plot natin to before, yung around 1.4, no? Na possible resistance sa R2. So, I'm not saying na after R1, pupuntahan niya yung R2. It's just that ito yung mga levels na kailangan bantayan kung mag-move higher yung TEL. So, if not enough buying pressure comes in, then it's a possibility na dito lang siya maglaro sa levels na to for the consolidation. And kung magkaroon man ng bearishness, it's possible na mabutas pa rin yung S1, no? Pero like I said, I think this is already enough buying pressure para hindi makabalik yung prices sa 1,080. So let's see, no, in the coming days or weeks kung ano yung gagawin ng TEL. Kung magkakaroon ng recovery sa market, then mas mapapabuti sa galaw ng stock na to. So next up, A-REIT. So for A-REIT, I think sobrang tagal na since I talked about this stock. Kaya nagkaroon ng reset, no, sa mga drawings. But I'm sure na pag-usapan ko to a few months back. Anyway, since matagal na yon, i-adjust ko na lang yung mga current levels niya sa ngayon. So at a first glance sa A-REIT, I can see that it's moving toward a pattern. So ito yung point A and point B. Both are swing highs. And ito naman yung swing low niya at isa pang swing low. So if I extend it, it looks like a downward channel, no? So of course, hindi naman natin sinasabi na automatic pupunta yung price ng A-REIT, no? Below 38 or even below 40 levels. It's just that ito yung sinusundan niya na pattern sa ngayon. So ibig sabihin, if bearishness continues, if the market still moves lower, posible na gumalaw lang siya sa loob ng pattern na to. Kasi pwede naman ang mangyari for the whole month of November or for the rest of the year, mag-consolidate siya somewhere around dito sa area na to. Kasi it's still part of the range. Tapos, kung biglang maging bullish, no, by the end of the year or probably early next year, pwede niyang mabutas yung downward channel. So, hindi niya nasusundan, no? So, this is just the possible area kung saan siya maglaro kung magiging neutral or bearish yung scenario natin. Pero sa ngayon, we can clearly see na ang support ng A-REIT is around this level, yung 40.60 area. So, syempre, ito yung gagawin kong S1. And possibly around 40.20 range siya, no? So, ito yung possible S1 na support natin yan dyan. And for the S2, probably around this area sa 39.40. So, ito kasi yung previous na low nung range niya, no? And then for the resistance, syempre, since meron tayong swing high dito sa 44.10, syempre yan yung gagawin kong R1, no? And itong 52-week high niya, gagawin ko na rin range to kasi most likely ito na yung R2 resistance. So, like I said earlier, in order to negate the downward move that's being created by a falling wedge or downward channel, a certain stock needs to break out sa channel niya na yon, and much better kung mabubutas niya yung resistance na na-create ng point A or point B ng trend line, no? So, ibig sabihin, for A-REIT, it would be definitely good if babalik siya above 44 levels as it can indicate na nagkakaroon ng bullishness sa stock kasi gusto niyang lumabas dun sa downward channel. So, things to look out for sa A-REIT around the 25th of November, meron tayong dividend X date na around 1.5%. So, you'd probably expect around a 1.5% drop to 2%, no? So, I think as long as yung A-REIT hindi naman pumunta near the S1, there's nothing to worry about because kung andito man yung levels, no, before the X date, then kung magbe-breakdown siya, andito pa rin siya sa loob ng range, no? So, ang iniiwasan lang natin is in the short term kung mabutas niya yung S1 tapos S2. Kasi that would be a very pessimistic or negative scenario for A-REIT. So, next stock, another Ayala stock. So, of course, Ayala Corporation. So, for Ayala Corporation, this stock was moving towards a downward channel. So, relatively small, no, kumpara sa mga ibang downward channel na napag-usapan natin. And this was on the first week of October. Tapos, for several days, no, sinusundan niya naman yung area na yon. And actually, kung mapapansin nyo, maganda nga na nabutas niya. Kaso, nagkakaroon ng resist no sa MA20. So kitang-kita natin pinipigilan talaga ng MA20 yung prices no buong second week to third week ng October. And unfortunately, natuloy yung breakdown. Tapos nagkaroon pa ng support sa S2 no for the first week of November. Pero nung nag-breakdown nung November 7, along with the other blue chip stocks, dumire-diretso na talaga pababa yung Ayala Corp. So, of course, we need to adjust the levels because itong mga areas na to mukhang mag-act as resistance na to eh. So, itong S2 natin sa 445.30, syempre ito na yung magiging resistance dyan. So, lagyan lang muna natin ng R, no? And itong S1, posible din na syempre resistance na yan. So, lalagyan ko din ng R. And I'm going to remove itong mga levels na to sa taas. Medyo malayo na siya. So, itong R1, no? Lagyan ko lang din ulit ng R para ma-adjust natin yung levels later. So, ngayon, clearly, the support for Ayala Corp, itong 401 levels. So, meron tayong psych support sa 400 probably. Kaya nagkaroon ng swing low. Pero tingnan natin towards the left kung ano yung possible reason kung bakit. So, mukhang wala rin naman masyado, no? It's just that, ayun na yung pandemic lows. So, if for instance, 400 makes a breakdown, then of course, the next support is ito na. Yung talagang lows ng pandemic. So, 360.61 area pa, no? So, medyo malalim lang, no? So, ito yung gagawin nating S2. So, ibig sabihin pala, syempre, ito na yung gagawin nating R1 and of course, adjust these other levels into the respective resistances. So, ibig sabihin for Ayala Corp, it can either move inside this consolidation sa range ng S1 and R1, no? And I guess if it makes a breakout sa R1, then that would be a good sign kasi that means above na rin siya sa MA20. And sabi nga natin kanina, the MA20 has been acting as the resistance for this stock several times over. So, definitely it needs to make a breakout sa R1, no? Along with the MA20. Pero kung hindi mangyari yon, the stock can either move around this direction lang sa loob ng box, or if it makes a breakdown sa S1, then we can see that the S2 is the next support level. So, next up, Meralco. So, for Meralco, the last time that I talked about this stock, so halos sakto, 1 month ago, so around October 15, and a lot of things have happened since napag-usapan ko tong stock na to. So, it tried to make a breakout around the third week of October. Tapos, nag-pull back, pabalik dito sa ilalim, sa range. And then, recently, it's been making moves again, no? So, of course, I need to adjust those levels. So, I'm going to delete all the drawings here since kailangan ng ulitin halos lahat. So, this horizontal line here, 590.27. So, bought price. So, meron kasi akong position sa Meralco. So, as you all know, I'm using InvestaTrade as my broker and automatic kasing lumalabas yung average entry price ko no sa stock and hindi ko siya natatanggal. So, this is not a recommendation, no? Disclaimer lang, this is not a recommendation for you to buy Meralco porket may nakita kayong position ko. So, this is just a part of my analysis, no? Talking about MER. So, for Meralco, previously kasi, yung ATH nito is around 584.10. And sa ngayon, it looks like this area is acting as the support level. So, para sa akin, itong level na to, i-consider ko as support, no? Pero this time, around dito na sa low ng candle. So, you could say that it's 578 to 581. So, ito yung S1. And then, itong low niya dito sa 540-50, medyo malalim compared sa S1, pero ito yung gagawin kong S2, no? And then, the area here sa 609 or 610 rather, ito yung gagawin kong R1, of course, yan na yung bago niyang resistance eh. So, ibig sabihin for Meralco, the trend is still intact, definitely uptrend sa short term and medium term. Tapos yung long term niya, halos kakagaling lang siya sa matagal na sideways. So, kaka-transition niya towards an uptrend, no? So, if the market keeps on improving, or hindi na magkaroon ng buhusan, so I'm expecting that Meralco can move inside this consolidation. No? Pero, of course, since it's part of the PSEI, kapag bumaba ulit yung PSEI at nagkaroon ng buhusan, no, I'm expecting that it can still make a breakdown dito sa S1 and even go back to the S2 levels. But this time, at least meron ng mga support, andyan pa rin yung MA20, MA50, and MA100. So of course, what I want to happen sa Meralco is to move higher, but I think that's only possible kung gaganda yung market natin overall. So if that doesn't happen, then most likely consolidation inside this box or move lower no at breakdown sa S1. So next up, ICT. So for ICT, the last time that I talked about this stock, October 15 din. So last month. And halos same yung naging galaw niya sa Meralco. So of course, they're part of the PSEI, no? Nagkaroon ng pullback towards the previous range. So you can see here nung November 3. Tapos, ganun din, in recent days, nagkaroon ng pagbawi and it's currently near its resistance level. So we plotted a possible chart pattern target here around sa 600 area. Kasi may box siya previously, no? So, kapag nag-breakout siya dito sa area na to, yung next target is itong R2 levels. Pero ayun nga, ang nangyayari, since humihina talaga yung market, walang tumutulak, no? Para mag-move higher yung stock. So, in this case, tatanggalin ko yung mga drawings ko dito before and I'm going to readjust yung mga levels. So, i-maintain ko pa rin itong R2 level, pero yung R1 tataasan ko na. Ilalagay ko na dito sa 574 area. Tapos yung possible support, dito ko na ilalagay sa area na to. So, it's creating a small box sa 543, no? So, para sa akin, ito yung S1 niya. And this area here, yung gagawin kong S2. So, yung 520.10, 520.15 area. So, ibig sabihin, ICT can either move inside this box. So, itong small na rectangle na yan. Up until the market either recovers for it to make a breakout sa R1, tapos i-test yung R2, or it can make a breakdown sa S1 and move towards S2, no? So, of course, ang ayaw nating mangyari, mag-breakdown yung S2. Kasi that would mean posible niyang i-test ulit yung MA100. And although nag-support last time, kapag hindi nag-support during the next pullback or retracement, then it's a possibility that ICT can move lower kasi ang tagal na, no? Since huling nabutas niya yung MA100. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung gagawin ng ICT for the rest of the month. So, next up, BDO. So, for BDO, last time I talked about this stock, October 27, and during this period, nagso-support yung na-plot natin na S1 around this level. And sabi ko nga doon, it's very important that BDO makes a breakout sa R1, no? So, breakout sa 140.15 and 142.85 in order to have a chance to reverse itong ginagawa niyang downward move. Kasi that would mean above na siya sa lahat ng MAs, pero hindi niya nagawa. Syempre, magkabuhusan sa market and BDO is part of the PSEI, no? Pero somehow, nagke-create siya ng support dito previously and nagtry pa nga siyang mabuhay ulit, no? After at bumalik dito sa taas. Pero sobrang lakas talaga ng sell downs. Walang nangyari at tinapik niya lang yung MA20 tapos bumaba ulit. So, of course, I'm going to adjust the levels again. So, tatanggalin ko na tong mga resistances. Kasi para sa akin, mas importante na yung mga areas na to, no? So, I'm going to treat this as another resistance na range. So, lalagyan ko lang muna ng R para malaman natin kung ano yung possible resistance, no? Tapos, ito rin, yung previous S2 level. Ilalagay ko lang din na R. And itong S3 ba, pwedeng mag-act as a support pa rin. So, posible. Since mukhang nagkaroon nga ng recovery at nag-overshoot lang nung November 14. So, I'm going to use this as S1 pero gagawin kong range, no? Since ito yung current swing low niya. So, ito yung mas gagawin kong S1. Tapos, this means this could be your R1 tapos ito yung R2. So, ayan, para mas clear. And if the stock makes a breakdown sa S1, yung possible next na support, itong level na. So, yung previous na resistance pa niya and naging support pa rin nga during this level, no? So, that's around 117. So, this could be your S2 support. So, for BDO, it needs to make a breakout dito sa R2 para at least makabalik ulit siya dito sa levels na to and ma-prevent niya yung downward move, no? Kasi if we're going to plot the trend line, ito yung pwedeng puntahan ng BDO, no? Kasi it's moving towards a falling wedge or downward channel. So clearly, pwede pa niya talagang puntahan yung S1 at S2 na support if magkakaroon pa ng weakness sa market. So let's see for the remainder of the month kung anong mangyari sa BDO. So next up, BPI. So, BPI relative to BDO, the chart looks better. So, meron tayong downward channel move and it looks like it's respecting itong support natin sa S2, no? Yung S1, walang nangyayari. So, pwede ko nang tanggalin yan. And itong S2 support, ito na yung gagawin kong S1 support na range. So, for the trading week so far, kaka-breakout niya dito sa downward channel and hindi naman na siya bumabalik sa ilalim, no? Pero ayun lang, pwedeng mag-act as resistance yung MA20, MA50, and MA100. So, of course, we're still going to maintain these levels. So, ang magandang gawin ng BPI dito, at least mag-breakout man lang siya sa R1. Kaso lang, nakaabang agad yung MA100 eh. So, at least R1 level, tapos dapat hindi na mag-resist yung MA100, no? So, pag nabutas niya yung R1, dapat hindi na siya bababa ng 111.20. So, much better kung magkakaroon lang na siya ng consolidation dito, no? Pero ultimately, yung mas gusto talaga nating mangyari, dapat mabutas niya yung R2. So, dapat pumunta siya sa 120 area because that would mean above na siya sa lahat ng MAs. And yung mga key levels na resistance, pwedeng nalagpasan niya na. So, this could signal the turnaround for the stock pag naabot niya yung 120. Kasi that would create a signal na may buying pressure sa stock para definitely malagpasan niya na yung downward channel move at yung MAs niya malagpasan to indicate that the stock is really towards a short-term to medium-term uptrend. So, next stock, Converge. So, for Converge, the last time na napag-usapan ko yung stock na to, medyo matagal na. So, halos 2 months ago. And sinunod naman niya yung bias natin towards the consolidation. So, for several weeks, no, andito lang siya sa loob ng box. And if I'm going to extend the box here, halos ganun pa rin naman. Andito pa rin siya sa loob. So, at least na-maintain niya yung range at hindi na siya nag-move lower, no, towards sa S1. Kasi kung pumunta siya dito sa S1 tapos humina pa yung market, baka napunta siya sa S2. So, the thing about Converge kung bakit hindi siya makalagpas, yung previous support kasi natin sa trend line na na-plot natin before, yun na yung nag-act as resistance ngayon. So, this means this is the immediate resistance for Converge. But of course, the key level is yung R1 and R2, no? So, I'm just going to make a few adjustments sa chart na to. So, tatanggalin ko tong box na ginagawa niya. And we're going to create a more accurate box here. So, ito yung kinikreate niya na consolidation, no? Which means, itong level na to yung gagawin kong S1. And ito, i-adjust ko into S2. And this one, S3. So, ibig sabihin, this could be the consolidation for Converge or it can move inside this range kung makakapag-breakout man siya at malalagpasan niya yung bottom part ng trend line. So, much like BPI and BDO, gusto nating gawin ng Converge is mag-breakout sa R2. Kasi ibig sabihin, lagpas na siya dito sa R1 and R2 levels. Tapos, above na siya sa lahat ng MAs, no? Which could mean uptrend na siya sa short term and medium term. So, the price target for that, kailangan makalagpas siya sa 15. Tapos, hindi na siya bumalik sa ilalim, no? So, that could probably signal na mas better yung galaw ng stock na to. Glow and TEL gumalaw pataas after the announcement of the IRR. So, probably Converge, medyo neutral lang or hindi ganun kaganda yung effect, no? That's why hindi siya tumaas ng grabe compared sa other telco stocks. So, that tells me that TEL and Globe mas preferred ng ibang investors or traders, no? Compared sa Converge. Kasi kung okay yung impact ng IRR sa Converge, dapat tumaas na rin yung price nito, no? So, I think wala pang ibang catalyst for Converge to move higher. So, I think ayun yung gagawin niya in the short term. Mag-consolidate or mag-breakdown sa S1 kung walang enough buying pressure para butasin niya yung mga resistances niya. So, if you want to watch my other videos, no, talking about the stock market na hindi masyadong related sa charts, click towards the right. And if you found value sa video na to, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel para updated kayo sa mga new videos na i-upload ko. So, ayun lang and thank you for watching this video.